There used to be one nation, but they split halfway through their lifeline of things about 500 years ago. This was around the time when the Arthurian emperor came and conquered Palestine and took that as his own little city-state. Yeah. To prohibit adventurers being used as mercenaries in wars, a adventurers' hall rose as a overarching. I'm trying to find the right word. Company, for lack of a better word that I can't think of, that monitors and controls the adventurers throughout the world of Calinstime. It basically uses it so that you can't hire them to fight your wars and such, but you can hire them to do missions and different things like supply runs and stuff like that, but you can't make them fight each other. Which allowed for a case because adventurers would get very powerful as they would discover items that would usually be a lot more rarer. They would be the ones that would deep dive dungeons and such, and the last thing you need is someone to come up with an artifact that would basically make it impossible to defeat your country. So it became a case of there needed to be a agreement made between the contractor, the contractee, and the adventurers hall. 1 second, please.
So we're gonna buckle the rules and be mercenaries, right? I'm joking. It's fine.
No, just saying. If we kill people on our own initiative, that's fine, right? We just can't do it for money.
No, we just can't do it for the purpose of war. Someone could totally hire us as professional assassins. That as long as it's for a personal grudge and not for military tactics.
That works perfectly.
I'm getting on that. I'm back, and I'm getting to that point. Sorry about that. Last night there was a strange noise happening in the middle of the night, and both me and my partner got up to try and figure out what it was. We couldn't figure out what it was. I just figured out what it was. The cat's accidentally pushing a Star Wars thing that makes a noise. So all of a sudden there's a noise in the lounge room. Anywho, where was I?
Assassins.
Not there yet. Yeah, so the Adventurers Hall works as a way to monitor and control that of adventurers. This led to a case of needing a different overhaul of the whole entire economic system. Not in the way of coin, but how things are worked out. To allow adventurers to be recognized as such, they brought in a new system which are known as chits. Chit being a small metal shard of metal that is used like a dog tag type thing, and it allows people to recognize different statuses and everything like that on the fly. Just basically looking at someone's necklace or whatever, however they carry it, allows them to know what rank they are, what economic standing they have, and such forth, like their strengths and such. Usually used by adventurers to represent their powers and their strengths and how well off they are, and used by the common people to represent the fact that they are commoners or wealthy merchants and stuff like that. There is different levels of these things, and in this world they are. Let me just pull up my sheet. Starting off at the lowest level, which is basically the equivalency of D&D level 1, 2, 3, 12, 20, and all so forth. Tin is for level 1 and 2 power levels, which are usually worn by low-level adventurers and common folk to represent their strengths and their weaknesses and such like that. You can also buy in to get into different heights of power length.
I'm just saying, if mine ever gets perforated, there is no force in this universe that can stop me from saying holy shit.
Yes.
I just discovered that I hadn't moved over the all my handouts. Quick changes.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna need a lot of them because I will have to look back and remind myself of what things mean. I'm still getting used to Faerun. It's been like 2 years.
Let's see. That's another thing I need. That's another thing I need. That's another thing. I think that's all the things that I need to bring over. Let's see. Okay, so um, okay, so yeah, for level 1 and 2, it's basically they start off as tin ranked members. Basic tin shirt used to represent their things. Then it goes up to brass for level 3, 4. Copper is 5 and 6. Iron is 7 and 8, and silver is 9, 10. After that, there is gold, platinum, mithril. Then there's a metal called orcalium, and then after that is adamantite. So basically, these little chits represent your power levels within the guilds. The wealth of the place, of the countries, have used gold as a standard to represent noblemen. So nobles generally always carry a gold. It doesn't generally represent their power and strength, it just represents their status, because these little chits also act as a passport, for lack of a better way of saying it. It allows you to get through different checkpoints, through different doors, and they open doors, close doors, depending on your level. If you're with me. A silver ranked person could get access to a castle, for example, but anyone below silver could not enter a castle without a proper passage of right.
I'm just saying, I already have shenanigans.
They're impossible to counterfeit if you're asking that question. They have
My shenanigans?
Hmm?
My shenanigans 100% involve using real chats.
They are registered to each person, and the Adventures Hall have a literal magical system that allows you to register underneath different things. It's for those that live in Calinstime, it is common. In Galanda, they don't use this system, so it's new to anyone that doesn't already live there. Which I think there is no one that literally is coming over, because we've said that. Let's see, Flint, was it your character?
Mm-hmm.
I think you said that you were already over in Calinstime for about a year now.
Oh, did we?
Early in the state, like you said that you wanted to be already over in Calinstime.
Oh, I thought that was if people were gathering together all like beforehand, but that didn't seem to be the case.
Well, it's just that I know that Josh and Wrath are going to be over here in Calinstime because they're natives.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Mr. Alarm?
Well, like,
What were you again?
so, like, my character's supposed to be, like, old, like, 68 or something, and the way I have her backstory out right now is that she actually, like, basically committed a crime that got her exiled, like, 20 to 30 years ago, so she's been living here for a bit.
So everyone's practically already over here except Flint's character, which is...
I thought you were in her service.
Yeah, I did. I just couldn't remember how to pronounce the name.
Oh no, I thought that Alex was in Flint's service.
It was a thing we talked
did,
about.
Yeah, it was a thing we talked about, but didn't go. He changed stuff up, so no.
Okay. Right, so... Anyway,
I thought we
either
were
way...
totally going to dump being the captain on Flint.
What?
Either way, we can already have you guys already being over here, so you guys already know the basics of the systems, and I believe the only one that I need to explain the most to is Josh, because I believe you are going to be exiled from your siblings and lose rank within your clan.
Lose rank?
Yeah.
I guess so. I don't mind if that's how you want me to leave.
Was he exiled? I thought he was just doing the kung fu thing.
Yeah, I was just
Kung Fu.
gonna leave. Well, after.
Yeah, well, leaving post would basically result in your name being stricken from the book.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. I
Yeah.
had enough of that life anyway.
Easy as. But yeah, basically that would mean that before you left, you were holding a gold rank. You had a gold chit.
Right.
But upon stating that you're leaving, you basically lost access to this standing. It never was actually earned. It was just literally given by birth type thing.
Okay.
And
Right.
yeah.
How would
So, yeah.
being a noble from a different place work with that?
The system isn't over there.
Oh, this is
It
just
never really... It's over in Galenda, they didn't have such a thing. Nobility was a different thing altogether. When you come over to Calinstime, being a noble very much has very little holding. Even those that travel over here as like emissaries of kings and all that jazz, they still have to register as a low-ranked adventurer type thing. They have to still get a tin rank to represent their thing, unless they have once again, as I said, a passage of writ.
Okay.
Which is hard to do. If they chose to live over here anyway, they'd have to become a normal person. Okay. So yeah, everyone would be having a tin chit already. It represents your current status within the guild and everything like that. This allows you different simple access points. Start off with in the location of Pending. In Pending, there is a thing called the Alamusmut Guild Shop. What this is basically a alchemist shop. But to give you an idea of what is available in potions wise, if you have a look at that handout, if everyone can.
I could. Is it desperate as you say right now? I'm kind of downstairs.
Okay, I've thrown it up on the thing. Or
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Basically, there's a thing called the brass shelf on this. This was a early build of this system, but I keep it to the same thing. Like, this has not been adjusted to proper cash or anything like that, so ignore the money costed at the moment. But the idea is that at higher levels, you get access to more powerful versions of the same potion and more different types of potions, is the idea. There is a cheaper version available to those underneath the brass ranking, that is brass and tin folk, which allows them to get these potions early, but they have like a 10% chance of not being effective. Very slim, or like what it is, it's like a point of fatigue when you drink it. Like, it's, you know what a fatigue is, right? When it comes to exhaustion,
Yeah.
It's like the preliminary. It's not an actual point of exhaustion, but if you take too much fatigue, you get a point of exhaustion. This was, like I said, an early build of this plan and everything like that, but the idea is still similarly there. But it allows for cheap potions. They come in at about general price of about 76 silver pieces, for example. Where the full price one is a single gold piece. Let's see. What's next? Gold. In this world, as I probably have said to you before, copper, silver, and gold work a little bit differently. Silver is the mainstay coin, and it works in a 100-point system. 10 coppers equal 1 silver piece, 100 silvers equal 1 gold, and then after that, it's 10 gold equals 1 white gold, which is platinum. So it goes back to basics there. There's no electrum, so don't bother about that one. Don't worry about that. But when it comes to getting your cash at the start, you do your usual thing, which is you roll your character, your class's cash, you add your background cash, and then you just divide times it by 100 and lower it down to silver, if you're with me. So, for example, a fighter, I believe, is a 64s, I think, something like that, times by 10, something, I can't remember off the top of my head. Let me just do it correctly. Yeah, 64s times by 10. So say, for example, it's 150 gold pieces. You add in your 15 gold pieces from your background. That's 165, which would be 165 silver, which is equivalent of 1 gold and 65 silver. And that's your starting cash. You guys with me?
Yep.
Fantabulous.
That one's going to confuse me a little bit. I'm going to have to go through and redo that.
It's very simple. Have you already got your cash in your inventory? Your
Yeah, but I
sheet?
was also using it a little bit to get stuff initially, like just small things.
Yeah. With the player's handbook, all items are equivalent of the actual thing. If you're with me. So like where it says 1 gold, it's 10 silver. No, 100 silver, sorry.
Okay.
Anything that's silver is dropped down to, it stays in silver, anything in copper stays in copper.
Okay.
No.
It's like small things like soap though and stuff still costs more than certain things that cost a bunch of silver then in that setup.
1 second, let me just... Let me just rehash my memory. Because naturally, I leave my bloody book in my car for tonight, haven't I?
Well, that's a great place for it.
Well, I do AL, Adventurers League.
Hold that for a minute. You're going to say Dead End Lives Watchtower Society?
So, for example, if you're talking about soap, which is located...
Like a 2 copper thing?
It's 2 copper, which is the value of its price. For example, a tinderbox, which is 5 silver, would be about 50 silver. No.
Sorry, where's the listing for gold by class? Never mind, found it.
Let me rethink this because I was already doing a different system for items and I forgot all about that.
I just know my character needs their soap and perfume and possibly makeup. Most definitely makeup, but possibly.
I just want to know if I can start affording studded leather.
Yeah, I'll get there in a second. Generally, it's multiplied by 10 for copper, so it costs you 2 silver pieces to get soap. Because it's 20 copper.
Oh, 20 copper, jeez. Okay.
Yeah, which is 2 silver. For silver items, yeah, they also get times by 10. So, for example, 1 day of ration is 50 silver pieces.
Oh, so it's just 100 instead of 10 for everything.
Yeah. No, the copper's still at 10s.
Okay.
10 copper equals 1 silver. But you times everything in the player's handbook by 10 except the gold pieces, which I'm still trying to work out.
Wait, but then soap would just be 2 copper, so how does that...
Times by 10, which is 20 copper, which is 2 silver.
Why is it being multiplied by 10? I thought it was 10 copper to the silver.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm just
So the value of copper
adjusting the
doesn't
player's handbook.
with the correct value.
I'm adjusting the player's handbook costs. So the cost of copper pieces are times by 10 and then transferred to silver.
Okay, well, if the cost of copper pieces increases by 10, that means the value of copper pieces increases by 10, which makes silver 0.2
Yeah,
copper.
silver. Yeah. It's just 2 silver pieces. Increase the value of the silver of copper to silver in the book.
Yeah, my point is that if it were increased, if the value of copper increased, it would buy more per copper, not less.
No. I haven't bought it. I haven't had the guys buy anything from the Player's Handbook for a long time, so I've forgotten how I did this at the beginning. And I'm just remembering now. Anything that says copper, you increase to silver. Anything that says silver, you add a 0 at the end of it. So if it says 2 silver, it's 20 silver. And anything that is gold is increased to... It's increased by 10 and then divided by the 100 to the silver piece mark. So Poisonous Kit would be 500 gold, which is now 500 silver, which is 5 gold.
Oh, so I'm like way off of getting stud leather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stud leather is 45, so it's 450.
Yeah. I'll write it down.
So, so like full plate is unreachable.
Pretty much.
Jesus, it's expensive.
There you go. That make a bit more sense, guys?
Yeah. So how much should we start with? So is it all
I
of
use-
it, was it times 10, you say?
So basically, here's the example. There we go. This makes coin a little bit more of a interesting thing to get.
So, okay. Jesus.
So a basic poison kit is 1,000 silver.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to start 410, so I've got 4 gold and 10 silver.
How do you have 410?
Well, I rolled 16, and then nobles get 25 from the background, times 10. And then...
Yeah, 16 is 160, plus 25 is 185.
Oh, I thought you said you times the background gold as well. Never mind, yeah.
Yeah, it's still gold.
Oh, so okay. So 1 gold and 85 silver.
I'm the brokest noble ever.
Your coin is currently carried. The cash that you wanted to bring over has literally been a case of trying to keep your current standing alive in this current world, and without any support from your family and your businesses back in Galinda, it kind of ran dry. On that note, remind me, you said that you had a colleague here in this country, didn't you?
Me?
Yeah,
My butler Dimitri.
Butler Dimitri. Okay, what race is he?
I was kind of going back and forth between human and half elf.
No worries.
Roll a dice.
That's a good idea.
You couldn't be Felborn if you wanted to make him
Half-elf.
Felborn for.
Oh,
Felborn are usually treated as slaves and servants.
oh. I'd be fine with that. But they do pretty well for their servants, so he's doing pretty well with us. I guess that would also make sense if he has the spells to help me out.
It's up to you.
That's fine, I think that's interesting.
Right, and next I just need your character images so that I can just make your tokens.
Mine's on my characters.
In the link channel.
Yep. I've seen the two. I don't think I have access to yours yet.
Can you take it off my characters, or do you want me to
Yeah, I am.
get? Okay, cool.
That is. Hate how Windows 10 makes it give you a preview one last time whenever you save an image. The fudge. There it is. Blind half the time. Sometimes I feel like twice my age.
The internet moves pretty fast.
Alex is gonna know what that's like playing a granny.
Gotta get into the role, man.
Back in my day.
I'm already at that age where it says back, where I say back at my day. Back in my day, you used to be happy that you got to see a bit of a lake.
What terrible times those were.
Or even worse,
Back in my day, we had dial-up and we liked it. We loved it. We couldn't get enough of it.
I couldn't even access it.
That's because it was dial-up.
Fair.
Who enjoyed dial-up? No one enjoyed dial-up.
Enjoyed it more than no dial-up, but my point is you couldn't get enough of it because you didn't have the bandwidth.
It's true.
Nice.
I'll pay that one. No, it was more like back in my day, you used to be happy you could see a bra strap.
Meh, I see those every day. They aren't that exciting.
Yeah.
I think that's because you were younger before.
Right. I need to grab. I gotta say that is a very cute alchemist gnome.
It hides the doom within.
Flint knows. She's played with me before.
Oh yeah, I got a question. What was your clan name?
Oh fuck! I never got around to making one.
For shame.
By Grabthar's hammer!
Yeah, how exactly do clan names work? Are they just like Irish Scots names, or?
They're like,
It's
you know, bone
it's the
murders. It's just word thing.
with the dwarven clans and well, dwarven and gnomish clans, they work as like a middle name.
Okay, but I mean, are they names? Are they verbs? Are they just sounds?
Are their names?
And you didn't think I had enough of those?
No, because I wasn't aware that you were going to be having a name of that.
I mean, names do that, man. They have like stupid amounts of names.
Yeah, I know that.
My parents were traditionalists.
I can see that. Which one's the clan name? They had to throw it in there somewhere.
Yeah, I guess you could just like pick one, right?
Yeah.
Like third one in is the clan name.
Which clan is she from?
What is the third one in anyhow?
It's your name.
Maminia.
Yeah, but see, I'm downstairs making chili, as I mentioned. So
Oh yeah, fair enough.
You people in your fancy headphones.
I mean, you didn't think I memorized that whole thing, did you?
No, of course
Yeah.
not.
Obviously.
And then I ask you what's your name, and you have to
Yeah,
say
my character has it memorized.
Yeah, I chose Ironita as my clan name.
I need a.
Did you
That
say you
makes
chose
sense.
irony for your clan name?
Iron Eater.
It is very ironic.
So yeah, I need a clan. If you want to have a look at the mountain range that is separating that of, let's see.
Was it this bit here?
No.
Uh,
I'm trying to figure out where the dwarves would have their bases.
that's the only mountain range I see.
No, there's more to the bottom of the map, which is to the west, by the way. Just to be clear, there is a gigantic thing in the top in the water there. Please be aware that north is to the right. It's just how the map was only allowing me to build it with. There is a series of mountain ranges to the bottom.
So
Let me
what,
just
the
grab
mountain
them.
ranges, the brown things, or is it something different?
The brown things are the mountain ranges. Let me just grab
East
the
is or
mountain
west?
range that I use.
Sorry, east. And there are these small ones up there.
If you look to the bottom right,
Yeah.
and you can see me filling in the mountain range area.
Oh, okay. So that's where me and Robin are from?
Sure.
Oh, well, you haven't chosen like the place where we were from yet?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I don't really mind.
You're taking a swim!
It's really weird. There's a bit of my background map that I use that isn't working properly, for lack of a better word. Yeah, I haven't fully fleshed out this bottom corner of the map for a long time. Because no one came down this way. Because all their missions are to the north.
Is there anything below? Or is there anything more to the west, or is it just like the mountain range kind of stops?
No,
people
there's
from
more to the
going?
west.
Yeah.
This gap here, that is located here, is actually the only pass, though. And I do actually have a thing down that way, but I don't know if you guys want to go that way. There we go.
I don't know why everyone's so shocked in that image.
Hmm?
The image that Flint put in.
He's a hell of a butler.
It's
True,
beautiful.
everyone's just like just completely exasperated.
There's also more, but yeah. There's a mountain range over here where this little dot is, and it heads up to the north over the pass there. But that there is basically the pass here is not possible. There's a mountain range there, but yeah, this pass here is part of it, but no dwarf goes past that line.
What line, sorry?
This one here.
Oh, interesting. So there's stuff over there that no one knows? Or...
It's more along the lines of passing that place is too cold. It starts getting really cold up that way, like abnormally cold. The mountain range itself is too high and too hard of stone. It's like something's prohibiting dwarves from digging deeper there. It's a general consensus of the Calinstime that it is basically a no-go land. It's a terrible place to go. This whole entire northern part of the actual area is covered in ice and such.
Is this something that I would know about?
Yeah, everyone generally knows about it. No one goes that direction, that's all.
I mean, I see it as a challenge from God, so I want to go that way.
Yeah, I like challenges, that's fine.
It's weird, why is there water here when there shouldn't be water here? There we go.
Hole in the universe.
There is adventure to the west as well. It's uncharted land. Excuse me. So, where's these images for the butler and Glater?
Well, the butler's in the chat of the Roll20, and then Galatea's is in the
there it is.
link channel in Discord.
Oh yeah, that image. Gotcha. Damn it.
I love how incredibly impractical the strap-on leg hammer is.
It's beautiful. Don't deny it.
Like, it doesn't help hide the hammer at all. It makes the dress more uncomfortable to wear, and like, it looks like it weighs a lot. So like, you're cutting off an artery to keep it up.
Also imagine just like
Just imagine her walking down the street. Clack, clonk, clack, clonk, clack, clonk.
Was it clacking against its skin? It wouldn't be making big noises.
No,
No,
it's
that's
your
just the sound of
heel.
your
It's
feet
the
hitting the
heel.
pavement.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
probably the
exactly.
heels. No, I don't think she's wearing heels, especially not raging.
She looks like she's wearing heels in this picture.
They're more like slippers.
I'm opening up this picture and investigating.
It's on her tiptoes. Yeah, she's doing like the thing where you like lean your one leg out a little bit and put on closer to the tiptoe.
Oh, she's trying to be Angelina Jolie in that one and trade the Oscars that one time?
Yeah, yes.
Is that it? Alright, cool.
I was assuming with the dress, they kind of did the thing where there's a little bit of padding on the, or not padding, but what do they
hoop
call
thing
that?
so it looks
yeah,
bigger.
a little hoop thing, so it blasts out and it's not noticeable that there's a thing. But one of those collapsible hoops, so she can do the girding the loins when she needs to.
You have a huge bustle, don't you?
Oh yeah.
But okay, so I opened the picture bigger, and the way her foot is, there's no way she's not wearing heels. Like it hurt. Like either she has her foot pointed down, but even if she has her foot pointed down, like it looks like the shoe doesn't come up around high enough, like the edges of her feet, because you would see more of like the sides of her feet if she had her foot pointed down with like a ballet flat.
Thank you, artiste. Okay, then she's kicking
Yo,
ass
what
in
up?
heels. Oh, is that an improvised weapon?
Only if they're stilettos. Heyo!
I'm already regretting this. I'm in great fear of what you guys will do to my world.
Grizz, the regret has not yet begun.
Nope.
God, no! Anyway.
Vanny
Hey,
Vini
remember
Vici
when I-
bitches.
Remember when I rolled a moralist transhumanist in Rogue Trader?
well, I mean Rogue Traders just the 40k universe anyway, that nothing is forgiving in that game.
And then bombarded a peace party from orbit.
Road trip
God,
is
that was
special.
the best.
We filmed it and tried to sell it.
Oh,
And
no.
we used it at the office Christmas party.
It was the Christmas
Dear
party.
God.
Empmas.
Emperormus.
Okay.
So Alex and Josh, you weren't around for that game. But I totally ended up being the drunken navigator in a different game with Flint.
Yeah.
Was it a Rogue Trader game or?
Oh no,
5e.
D&D.
Oh, okay.
But she's the drunken druid.
Hey, did we tell you how I'm ruining that world?
I haven't heard about it.
Do you just hate people creating homebrew worlds and just want to destroy them on them?
No,
you
this one
kidding?
isn't
I love
homebrew
it.
at least. This one is just Storm King's Thunder. With a little bit of homebrew.
Also, ruin is a subjective term.
I'd say she's making it better.
That's what I'm saying.
Creative destruction.
Treekers, man. Treekers. Oh my god. Alex, please draw treekers for us.
What's a treeker?
An
Oh,
ent.
tree streaker.
Tree streaker. I'm naked!
I'm
That's
down.
weird. It's not letting me add his race.
His race is Dimitri. He is his own race.
And not his race, sorry, his class. It's not letting me click in that space.
Class Dimitri, race Dimitri, level Dimitri.
His class is one hell of a butler.
One second.
Also, I just want this other one hell of a butler, and he's a tiefling. Oh.
Exactly. At least I didn't name him Sebastian.
Damien be
Yeah,
worse.
I totally awakened some trees, and I'm teaching them to do druids so that they cast awaken on trees.
She's becoming a goddess of tree people.
I 100% support this. I was playing in a like a homebrew like city building campaign, and I was playing a druid, and she was very seriously trying to use her adventurer clout to give animals equal rights. Like pigs can be full citizens.
Is she the PETA of the world?
She's a druid, of course she's the beat of the world.
PETA's a little bit different. Evil druids are PETA, I think.
I think it's a matter of perspective. I mean, if you were, let's say, an awakened sheep, I'm pretty sure you think PETA's pretty great.
Except they do kill a lot of animals.
To be fair, so did my druid.
Okay, so there you go.
My druid prayed to a my druid prayed to a huntress goddess and like basically murdered every day.
Eating people who eat animals. Yep, that makes sense.
She's done that once.
Right.
Well, ethical consumption. Is that such? Could there be such a thing?
Honestly,
Yes.
as long as you're not killing them to eat them, I don't see the problem.
Yeah, if it was all voluntary, then yeah, probably.
I guess.
Like,
oh my
you
god,
have
I
to-
found the perfect sorcerer origin for him. Okay, question. What is... Dimitri has a hideous appearance. What is it? Something about him is hideous to look at.
Oh. Well, if he got bought and sold a lot, he probably has, like, a lot of scars on his back or something like that. He got pretty messed up on by previous owners.
Okay. This is more along the lines of he's been cut... His... Oh, no, that makes sense. Yeah, no, I'll pay that. Okay. No worries. Still not letting me fix up his class at the top here for some reason. Oh, there it goes.
Cool.
Okay. Do you want to pick his stats for me, please? As a sorcerer?
618.
Yeah. It's just
That'll
a standard,
totally work.
right?
No. Yeah,
He's
standard
just
array.
better than the party in every way.
He is Kato, your all green hornet.
Fits so perfectly.
And obviously a charisma for the sorcery. Some wisdom. Con dex strength, I guess. No. Wisdom int dex strength. Backwards.
Hang on a second. This sheet doesn't have persuasion.
Hmm.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's right above religion. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up from the bottom.
No, Dimitri's page doesn't.
Oh,
It's fucking weird.
Nice roll.
If I had advantage.
Hmm.
You can click generate skills. Once
I
you
like the
Yeah, I'm gonna-
dichotomous
I'm-
split.
I'm gonna add it. Don't worry about that. Damn it. You just let me. There we go. Nope. Add. Modify. Other pill. There we go.
So is there any additional rules you use?
Yeah, I'm getting there. I just need to finish this. Okay. One thing to note is that you have access to a series of armor known as partial armor. Partial armor works as long as you are wearing no or light armor, you can equip partial armor. Partial armor is generally used to increase your AC by 1 point, and there is a list of it located in the handout called Ostripsopshi Tower, Copper Market. This also hasn't been adjusted to its pricing, so ignore that. But once again, this is a thing. For example, there is partial light armor, which is the equivalency of you have to have the proficiency in the armor type to wear it. For example, you can't be wearing a medium partial armor if you're only able to wear light armor and such. So wizards really can't wear it unless they have light armor proficiency. But it allows you to wear a bit of armor without affecting the fact that you can't really wear armor. You know what I mean? Like,
You get an 18. So you could get the same as full plate if you're wearing studded leather with the partial armor and a +5 dex.
And
things
it
will hit a little
still
bit harder.
counts as armor for like unarmored defense and stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay. Never mind.
So yes, barbarians can wear partial armor.
So it doesn't count against it, or it does?
It doesn't count against your unarmed bonus, and you
Sweet.
can wear partial armor included. Like for example, there is a where is it? Plate shoulder guard, for example, can be worn by a barbarian with heavy armor proficiency. How awesome would that look on a barbarian?
Not so much with her dress.
No.
are you kidding
So
me?
she
It'd be
doesn't have
amazing.
heavy anyway.
You could do some crazy Lady Gaga stuff.
Yeah.
Got like this amazing, like just super decorative pieces of metal all over you.
Yeah.
Be badass.
There is also a few other things. Let me try and find where I've got the information. So in rules, equipment changes. Yeah. Let's see. Weapons can gain the trait Arcane Furnace as well. Some Masterwork weapons can get Cleaving, Deadly, Hidden. Ido for only unique for thingies. Masterwork properties that can be gained for armor is Stealthy, removes the disadvantage Dexterity stealth previously caused by wearing certain armors. It also can drop a state, Durability.
Ido doesn't. I mean, you drawing one weapon's a free action to begin with.
It was a different thing. It's more along the lines of I wrote it as like a reaction type thing. Like normally you have to be prepared to do an attack of opportunity. Like you can't make an attack of opportunity without a weapon drawn.
Right.
Ido allows you to do that. So that's what it actually is supposed to say, but it's only unique to the Hikoken weapons, which no one has access to. Let's see. Partial armor. There's a proper readout of partial armor if you want me to post it, but yeah. Then there's also the 4 different types of shields you can get. There's buckler parrying, parrying buckler, and that does increase.
We're not in Dark Souls. It doesn't. So we're not in Dark Souls, so I don't think anyone's gonna use that.
It's a small metal shield held in a fist grip. As it is not strapped, it cannot be donned or doffed in tandem with your movement and action. It can be donned and doffed in tandem with your movement and action type thing. Proficiency with the rapier grants proficiency with the buckler. A buckler does not increase your AC class against ranged or magic attacks, but against melee weapon attacks, increases your AC by half your dexterity modifier rounded up. So yeah, pretty good for rogues, I think.
That's insane. That's really. I mean, that's just crazy. But any rogue with a +5 index is gonna have more armor than.
Yeah, but it doesn't prevent. It doesn't increase your AC against magic or ranged attacks like a normal shield.
Yeah, but against melee weapons.
Yeah, personally, I'd rather just have a basic shield.
Which is, I mean, I guess, sure.
Yeah, round shields allow you to do bash attacks as a bonus action. But by doing a bash attack, I gotta remind myself that that's what happens whenever Thanatos uses his bash attack. Bash attack means that you've used it as a weapon instead of a defensive thing, so you actually lose your shield during until the start of your next turn as you get ready to defend yourself again. Kite shields. Acts as a basic shield, but it also gives you the ability to use your reaction to give you +2 against ranged attacks. But whilst you're wielding it, you can't use the dash. And then there's fucking tower shields, which are bullshit in themselves, +3 AC. Wielding a tower shield reduces your speed by 10 feet, and limits quick movements such as dashing. But you can use a round to set it to give you three quarters cover for 1 round until the start of your next turn. Next is crossbows. I like to make my crossbows a little bit more interesting because there's no reason to take a crossbow over a longbow. You know what I mean?
Well, no. I mean, you can use 2 one-handed crossbows. That's quite common.
Yeah, but they don't turn into fucking pistols. You can't use. The thing that you got to be careful of is there's certain DMs that use that take things to heart, and I've currently been underneath one DM which uses the Inatra rules, and it's quite true. Just because you can use 2 in one hand, how are you going to reload them?
Clearly, you pocket with your teeth.
Well, that's what the feet are for.
Yeah, but the feat says that it lowers the.
No, you
it removes the loading. Yeah.
You don't worry about that.
You drop them and then just pull out new ones. A la
That's
Reaper.
what I ended up doing. That's what I
I
do
need
now.
crossbows.
One of my characters.
Lots of crossbows.
Yeah.
It's Meryl
I was
Streep
playing-
from Try Again.
For just like a little bit, I played an assassin that used pistols, and he literally had 12.
Yeah. Josh, just because it removes the loading trait doesn't remove the fact that it needs ammunition. And ammunition
but you
says
don't
you
know
need a
what the
free
point
hand
of
to
that-
reload. No. it drops the loading, which requires an action to reload a weapon. Ammunition says you need a free hand to reload the weapon. So it doesn't completely mean that you can just...
Right. So here's what you do.
Yeah.
You put a
Anyway,
loop
so-
in the handle on the base, on the like the stock of the crossbow. You wrap the loop around your wrist. Okay, so you fire your 2 crossbows. You let one go and you use that hand to cock the other one. You drop that crossbow, pick up the other one, and use your other hand to cock that one. Bam!
Yeah, I know. That's what I've been trying to get across to this DM, but I have to have proficiency in level working to make something like that. Anyway, moving on.
It doesn't say that.
Ammunition?
Higher townsfolk, they already have
a free hand. It doesn't say that. There's nothing in ammunition where it says that you have to do that.
There's totally a townsfolk somewhere who already
It
knows
even
how to
just
work
says
leather.
drawing the ammunition from a quiver is counted as part of the attack.
How are you drawing it? How are you loading it into
Yeah,
the weapon?
there's no
Ella,
rule
can you
about
use
that.
this?
That's not included in the game.
In
It
the
doesn't say
answer,
that you have to have a free hand. At least it is the rule, like normal rules.
Oh, the joy of raw.
Oh, and I think I'm going to keep the tentacles. I feel like there's no way that can go wrong.
You have tentacles? Oh, as a trinket.
ammunition. You can use a weapon that has ammunition property to make a ranged attack only if you have the ammunition to fire from for the weapon. Each time you attack with the weapon, you can expend 1 piece of ammunition. Drawing the ammunition from a quiver, case, or other container is part of the attack. You need a free hand or to load a one-handed weapon.
I'm not seeing that.
Yeah, loading. You ignore the loading quality.
Oh, there it is.
It's part.
After the word attack, third line.
Yeah. Surely that's just part of just the feat. You ignore that. If you're loading it.
No, that's ammunition property. Loading says because of the time required to load this weapon, you can only fire 1 piece of ammunition when you use a basic, when you use an action, bonus action, or reaction to fire, regardless of the number of attacks you can normally make.
I guess you could just fire them both, drop one, load them both, and pick up again.
Yeah. Well, then what happens if you have 3 attacks? The way I worked around it was I did a basic Reaper, but only did it one-handed, using my bonus action to draw a new one from my chest and fire that. Discard the one that I just finished firing, and then fire, reload between the fires, and draw a new one. Anyway, moving on. My crossbows are a little bit different.
Well,
They
that's
don't
the
use
errata.
dexterity.
Yeah.
They don't use dexterity to determine the damage that you deal. It uses the material of the bolt that you fire instead. So instead of using dexterity for everything, what it does is you use your dexterity to shoot, and then you use the quality of the wood. So there's wooden, iron, and steel. Wooden bolts give you +2 damage, iron bolts give you +3 damage, and steel bolts give you +4 damage. So that's how crossbows work in my game. To shoot, still uses dexterity. To damage, uses the material of the wood of the bolt. The pricing still is being messed around with. Anyway, why is he here? He's not supposed to be here. Okay. Let's see what else. Excuse me. Now, there are 3 places for you guys to start. Well, actually, more open spaces now for you guys to start. There was originally 3 places for adventurers coming from the different place from Gelander to choose from. There's Nepending, which is the port trade city of Kalandor. There's Parastrim itself, which is the free city. And then there's an Elstrom city, which I didn't give a name yet because they haven't reached it, so I haven't bothered yet. But considering that you guys are basically already natives, you can start pretty much anywhere that you want to on the map, to be honest. Jinky's never considered that one. Let's see. The capital, Gelandor, is called I don't vent. I don't vent.
I invent.
I don't vent.
Gesundheit.
Yeah. Shh. Leave me alone.
I'd invent a collapsible suitcase if I could.
How to vent. Thank you for helping me work out an easier way to say it.
You're welcome.
Anyway. So considering this is session 0, let's see. Things that you need to know.
Competitive pronunciation is kind of my thing.
Thank you. I'll need a lot of that because I am terrible sometimes.
Yosemite Sam had an epiphone when he read the to me.
What? Okay. So I've got all your tokens made. Let's see. Right. Okay, sorry. Anywho, let's talk about what I'm going through. Let's see. You've been told about the chits. Adventurers Hall. The Adventurers Hall works in a different set of way. It actually works in a way equivalent to role-playing games in video game style way. You can acquire different jobs in different places in different ways. Some jobs are basic, very easy to do jobs, and sometimes they lead you on quests. There's always an opportunity that you can always come on whilst I'm online and say, hey, Grizz, you got time? Can we do a solo adventure? And this is during your character's downtimes between the major quest lines where you can go do a simple job such as exploring the city by taking a job to escort a noble through the town or something like that. And you get to do different personal things to advance your character's life, give it a little bit more feeling. In this game, the idea is that it's a more free form. The direction that your characters go is 100% up to you, and I can put quests in the way to lead you different directions or assist you in getting to those places within the coin, within currency. On the world map, which you should be on, you can see that everything is decided by a hex, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Each hex represents equivalency of a day of solid marching, like full speed marching. At a slower pace, at a more comfortable pace, it would take 2 days to cross a hex. This is on a road. When you cross a normal strip of land, such as an unmarked travel, it takes 2 days of solid marching to cross it.
Okay,
gotta
what
fill
do the
this in
different
somewhere.
colors of markers mean?
The different colors of terrain.
Well, we have like brown roads, lighter brown roads, and then there are blue things that might be rivers or might be other kinds of roads.
Let me just rejoin as a player because I've got my background. I've got a GM layer that's given me a different colorization of everything.
Yeah, there's actually a couple different classes of blue things. So
Okay. The lighter color brown is me not picking the same color.
Got it.
Yeah, I'll fix that up later on. I'll fix that in post. Let's see. The light blue represents shallow stream, smaller rivers, whilst the dark blue represents the big river. Like it's a big, long, wide river.
okay, what's the primary direction of flow in this section of the world?
The primary direction of flow
What way do the rivers tend to go?
to the ocean.
Yeah, I was going to say to the ocean.
I mean, you don't know that. That lake in the middle could be like Death Valley. And full of salt water, like the Salton Sea.
Well, generally this lake in the middle is fed by two different series of things, but yeah, basically it is. It feeds to the main to the ocean as well. Okay, so the terrain on the terrain, green
And
is
we
just.
definitely sign that says the heroes are here.
Hmm?
We definitely need a sign that says the heroes are here.
That is the. Oh, it's not there. I've put it down as a different color. On a different layer, sorry.
Oh, I was just noticing that all of our markers have PC tag.
Hmm. I actually do have a thing for heroes here. God damn it. God damn it. Why aren't you control Zing? There we go.
So
Because that's not a real thing.
where's the
Also, link
mountain
channel.
homes at?
What am I looking at now?
Oh, can I just ask a quick question?
Yes.
So I'm assuming that light blue streams, like you could ford it if you needed to.
There's usually a bridge or something along the way. The dark blues you have to find a proper bridge. You can probably ford a light blue river. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, depending on how light it is, I bet I could ford one of the blue ones.
Pretty much. Right. Let me just rejoin as a player so I can see the terrain as players see the terrain. Because the guide that I use to represent my map is a stolen one, and it makes everything a little bit more lighter colored, so it's a little bit weird for me. Right, so the dark green frothy stuff, right, is your forests, regardless of their size and quality. Generally, the more thick they are, the bigger the actual forest itself is. I still need to edit it and make it have a little bit more thinner forest on the outside of each of the things, but generally, this thing called the far forest. You got the far forest in the Northwoods, which is to the south of Parastrom, which drove my players insane for a bit.
What, the far forest being in the Northwoods to the south?
Yeah.
Are they the nearby woods to the south? Because otherwise it's just not perfect.
The Northwoods are to the south of Parastrom.
Right, so it's the far forest in the nearby nearby north woods to the south of town.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, no one has tried to hit me for that.
Sorry, I was reading the comic you posted and totally missed what you said.
I said that the far forest is in the nearby north woods to the south of town.
That's awful.
I kind of
Don't blame
did that
me, blame
first.
God.
And it's also what I said to my players.
Literally that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get along fine.
So yeah, the places which have a lot of names are... That's lost its name. Anyway, the places with a lot of names are located that way because that's where they've visited and found out names of. I haven't fully fleshed out a lot more of the different places. The bigger tokens just are unedited. Every token came in that size, and I haven't edited it to be proper size to the smaller sizes, just everything else. So far. So
It's
ignore
actual
the
size, but it seems much bigger to me.
Generally, yes, it is the actual size of the cities, but its representation is actually supposed to be the smaller dots, which is the actual size, to be honest. Anyway, yeah. Right, so as I was saying, there's Nepending. Nepending is the port town of Kalendor. It's basically where everyone comes in the first time. You've got Palestrim itself. Palestrim is a city-state. It's a mesh of two cities pushed together of both Kalendorian and Elastrium style, but conquered by a Roman Bathorian general 500 years ago. Up here in the north coastline of Alistrim, somewhere along one of those three cities, is the port city of Alistrim. I haven't decided which one. The capital city of Kalendor is Idevent. And the capital city of Aliston is Sokol, over here on the far north of the desert. This is a desert to the right of Palestrom. The different shades are just to break up the different things of the white and the yellow, but the grey-brown represents stone. It's like the stone plateaus that you see in the deserts and everything like that. The dark brown is the mountains. Generally, the dark brown represents a low-lying mountain, whilst the lighter brown that you see next to the Caravan River represents a higher peaks and everything like that. Hence, there are cracks in it to represent the different peaks. And the white represents the snow-top mountains, if you're with me. A lot of the terrain to the west, which is to the south, hasn't been fully fleshed out yet, but there is plenty of space down that way as well. But that is called the Wilds. Basically, that road that goes off to nowhere is the end of proper terrain. No one knows what's out that way. But that's basically it so far of this world.
I bet it's full of treasure.
Where's the mountain homes at?
The mountain homes are generally located in the Great Western Ridge. You get to decide whereabouts.
Oh, so somewhere in like one of these two bits.
Yeah. There's also some located in this one here, type thing. And probably one located here close to the human cities as a trade city or something like that.
Okay. I think the major one for the major family is going to be like down here, one of this place, over there.
Mm-hmm.
But the one I'm currently at, and where I guess Robin's from, is like over in this mountain range.
Sure.
I was going to say, if dwarves are anything like I imagine they are, then there's probably one big-ass city in the middle of it, and like satellite cities at the edges of the mountain where actual guests are allowed. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, in this world, there is a hierarchy system of the dwarves. There is a major clan, and underneath the major clan is 3 minor clans, and underneath each minor clan is 3 more lower clans. Each of the minor clans are generally ruled by one of the major races that make the dwarven civilization, which is dwarf, rock gnome, and deep gnome. Yeah,
so wait, I can totally have a gnome clan?
Yeah, there's a gnome clan.
Ha. Also, I decided which of my names they get.
Yeah.
Zertana.
But I think we're going to have you being of the lower clan underneath Josh's minor clan.
Yeah, I thought it was major.
Yep.
Well, yeah, but you're in one of the minor cities.
Right.
Anyway, let's see.
We had this whole like slap order going on in our backstory.
Yeah.
Where like I'm a nobody, a minor noble tried to slap me down, and Josh slapped them.
Yeah, pretty much. So let's see. We've got our dwarven city and the smaller cities.
I mean, at the time, I suggested that he just get a metal chamber pot in case it happened again, and he didn't seem very pleased by that. And then I thought about it later, and I realized that even if he had had a metal chamber pot, it wouldn't really have helped because the chamber pot still would have tipped back and all over him. And I guess I should feel bad about that, but I don't really, because he was kind of a jerk.
Okay.
Oh, this is going to be a fun party.
I like you guys a lot.
Aww.
Okay. So, how's that look so far? For the main clan is located here. First minor clan is located here. We probably have a minor clan located here at the edge of the border. And the third final major clan located over here. How's that look? So, what is the clan's name of the major clan? The Iron
Eaters.
Iron Eaters.
Yeah.
To the Dwarf Fortress roars.
The axioms of whirling.
the naming in that is it's pretty good.
Barrels of blood along with us.
Iron is the Datan.
So is our lake plant is our land plagued with elephants?
I wish. And Eater.
Mock will be displeased. Also, did you ever actually answer me about cat bone amulets?
No, I didn't.
Are you gonna make them?
Let's see. So the name of the main dwarven clan is known as the Datendeb. What is the minor clan that rules the citadel that you guys come from? Two words. Anyone?
Oh, what?
I
Sorry.
hope you're not asking me. I have no social class whatsoever.
I'm just asking, what are they called?
Oh,
The
of the
food
one we're in
eater.
currently.
Hmm?
Of the place we're in currently.
Oh no, the dwarven city that you guys came from. The one where you met Lynn.
Yeah, right, okay.
What's their clan name?
I'll give me a second.
Two words.
Or say the drinky smashy.
So brew and then.
Does this world have moons?
I could last name.
Yes, I was. Oh, thank you. I was going to get to them. Brew what?
I don't know. Someone think of another word.
Bronze brew.
Brewfist.
Bronze brew? Okay.
Brew murdered.
Yeah, sure. Brew murdered. I like that even more.
Gristle McThornbody.
Beef. Slab fist.
Chunk beef broth.
Brew
Rock.
McBoat
Hard
face.
guy.
Brew McBoat faces.
Dirk Hardpack.
Namshkdil.
Round tower.
Namshkrild. Namshkdrod.
Thick McRuns fast.
Jet. Awesome laser.
That's three words.
No, awesome laser is one word.
Let's see. Alstrom
It's
is
a
located of
portmanteau.
5 different clans. There's 5 different clans within Alstrom. I have so far only really filled in one to its maximum for its cities. That is the one which is located here at the bottom right, which is the northernmost clan. They have all these cities that are located here. I'll just draw them in. What is looping like this? This represents one clan. This area here is another clan. This area here is another clan. This area here is this clan.
There's a clan, and another little clan.
Fuzzy clan,
Pretty
bunny
much.
clan.
And there's that final tribe. They're tribes. Fine, happy. Those represent the 5 tribes of Alistrin.
No, I'd have done the same thing if you said tribe that many times.
Clan tribe.
God, I like you guys already. Okay, so there is moons in this world. There's 2 moons. I have written them down on the calendar, I think. Nope. Where did I write them down?
R.
Now there's pirates?
Can we be pirates?
Here we go.
I mean, I guess we could at some point.
There is 2 moons. There is one called Lua, which is the eye moon, and the other one is called Argenta, the silver moon. Lua is when full is considered to be as though the goddess, who is like the overarching and non-influential goddess, is looking down on the world to see if she has left it in capable hands. The goddess is like the one who made even the gods of this world that people worship, and even the gods of this world worship her, and this is the belief, the multicultural belief. Basically, everyone in the world believes this.
My girlfriend became the moon. That's rough, buddy.
Stop it, I don't deal well with laughter.
Too late. You're stuck with us. You agreed to this.
I'm
Yeah,
a
you're
fool.
kind of doomed. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but basically the idea is that every country in this world, in every continent in this world, has the same belief about these things, which is a very weird overarching belief system. That these two moons have the same name no matter where you're from, and they basically have the same belief that when full, the eye moon is known as the goddess's eye, and every god on this planet worships the goddess, and she acts as a non-influential goddess. Then you've got the silver moon. It's seen as the method of good fortune, or so the tale is told. Great luck comes to those that are born in the night of the full Aganta moon. Merchants make a lot of important trade deals with life-changing events on the days when it is full. And ships won't leave port when the moon itself goes dark. New moon, for example. There is a handout known as the Calendar of Calinstime. It's also the Calendar of Galandor, but
How does relative size work out for eclipses?
sorry?
Well, okay, we get really cool eclipses on Earth because of pure happenstance with the size of the moon and the size of the sun.
Yep.
Eclipses aren't an automatic thing.
Let me just double check to see when there is an eclipse, because interestingly, there's eclipses.
The gnome's gonna try to become a god by saying, I will block out the sun on this day.
Actually, to be honest, they're very predictable. The actual rotation of the moons was how the calendar was designed.
Now the question is, does everyone know that?
Yeah.
Damn.
Every year on the 5th of Dunes, which is the 5th month, the moons are both full, and there will be an eclipse of Lua. Everyone
Lua
knows
is
this.
eclipsed by Argene, or Lua eclipses the sun?
It's a question, isn't it? Which one does it? I have not set that up. Generally, an eclipse happens when the Earth covers the moon, so I guess it is set up for that. It's only when the planet covers that of the moons.
That's a lunar eclipse, and then you also have solar eclipses. You just didn't specify whether it was a lunar or solar eclipse once per year.
I'm just double checking because I've got a list of the actual things here, and I'm just looking for it. Doesn't look like there is any solar eclipses.
I mean, I guess that's possible, but not likely.
Well, this world doesn't seem to have any.
Yeah,
Well,
if they're out of plane.
Well, because of the angular rotation that most galaxies go in, they tend to flatten out to planes no matter what you do.
I'm aware of that.
I think Uranus has a couple of moons that are out of kilter.
Fair enough.
There's plenty of eclipses of the moons, but never eclipse of the sun.
Honestly, I don't know enough about like different planetary rotations and alignments to be able to say for sure that it's not possible. So like maybe Uranus does in fact do that. Like I actually don't know. Or rather Uranus's moons.
I am sure that there are moons in the solar system that aren't true to the ecliptic. I'd have to look up to tell you which ones, but some of them.
Hmm.
And yes, you can absolutely have moons within the plane of the ecliptic without having solar eclipses. If the moon's orbit is regular with respect to the day, basically the moon has to go around the planet in a day. So it stays at the same relative rotation every time. And then it just passes through the sky after the sun in the sort of orrery arrangement that people used to think we lived in.
That'd be super weird, man. Like, I get that it's possible. Just, yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that the gods built this world to order, but this world kind of looks like the gods built it to order, you know?
I mean, even if you look at the progress of Earth's moon, eventually, like the Earth's moon slowly drains like kinetic energy out of the rotation of the Earth, and like eventually will do that for a really long time. It's inevitable. I'm
Yeah,
assuming
there's
that,
a point in our relative rotation with the moon where it travels through the sky in exactly the length of one day. I'm not sure
yeah.
how many hours we're in that day, or will be in that day. I'm not sure if it has happened or will happen. I don't have my phone on me, so I can't check.
I don't
Half
know.
of my brain is missing.
Yeah. I guess that there's just no eclipse during this year that I've got. There's plenty of stars that pass, but no solar eclipses. There is plenty of eclipses of the different moons, the two moons.
Also, it could just be that like the eclipse never actually, like you never get a full eclipse in this area of the planet.
That could also be true.
Because I know like there's supposed to be a full eclipse soon, but not in Canada. It's only in like certain parts of the states and other places around the world, depending on how the shadow cuts.
Yeah, I'm sad.
Oh,
I'm
God,
too far
did
away
you
to get
see
the full
that?
thing.
Did you see that post on Facebook? The woman who was like, "Hey, can they change the time?"
Cute.
Wow.
What? Great, my notepad crashed. Why did you crash?
It's
Notepad?
okay. We'll be here for you.
When the rain
expanded
starts
it.
to pour.
I fucking closed up my notepad, expanded out my notepad, and it decided to crash on me. Stiff because of word wrapping, I bet. That's frustrating. Anyway, let's see. Bring back up the calendar. So,
I just realized my gold roll is the averagest roll.
Hmm?
If you are averaging dice, the roll that I rolled for gold is the most average roll.
I see. Okay, so yeah, there is two moons in this in this world, the Lua and the Argenta. The Argenta is known as the silver moon. It actually looks like a silver moon compared to that of Lua, which is a bright white. Yeah. Let's see.
So, okay, so the goddess looking at us is when the two moons align to look like an eye with a white and a pupil.
Yeah. No, it's more along the lines of whenever it's full. When both moons are full. Which happens very rarely, actually. No, when it is full, when Lua is full. Lua is considered the eye of the goddess. The other one is a silver moon. It's not even considered part of that belief.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. There are 12 months in this world. You can see it on the handout called Calendar, which is glitched for me all of a sudden. The fuck? The moment when you'd accidentally push the bloody bookmark instead of pushing the button that you wanted at the top of the page. There we go. Calendar of Calinstime. There is 12 months, as you can see. This one doesn't need to have their birthdays or their information, so you don't need to worry about that. Let me edit that out. Okay. Right. So now the question is, what month did your characters arrive here? Lynn and Gimir. Grimnir. When did you guys leave the mountain, the city? What time of year?
Recently?
Okay. So the question is that, do you want to roll the dice and find out what day you left?
Sure, what do you want me to roll?
Roll me a D264, I think it is.
For two D64.
No, it's just a D60, 264.
Oh, sorry.
1D264.
251.
Wow, that's okay. That's really low at the bottom. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, on the 15th, no. Where'd you say that you rolled? 251.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So each month is built up of 28 days. Okay. So there's 28 days in a month, and every third month, after every third month, there is basically a 10-day holiday, a 10-day holiday type thing, festival. These are known as the Spring Festival, the let me get the right names. Winter's End Festival starts after the first month. After Abydos, which is the first month of the year, there is the Calgava, which is the Winter's End Festival. It's a 7-day festival, sorry, a week festival.
Which one's
It's
the
a
main
7-day festival that is a real-world equivalent of Christmas and New Year's rolled into one. Abydos first represents the beginning of the new calendar year. As in the rest of the world, this time is the year celebrated through feasting, drinking, candle, and more magical lightings, gift-giving, and other among pious liturgy and charity type things. So it's basically New Year's and Christmas rolled into one thing. So they don't spend a whole day at the beginning of the year celebrating it. They wait until Calgava.
So
Then
when's the Moon Festival?
The Moon Festival, I'm getting there. Let's see. Second month is known as Calistri. Third month is known as Farist. The fourth month is Gozran. Then after Gozran is the Fagrevinda, or the Fair Winds Festival, which is the Spring's End Festival. It basically celebrates the end of the spring. Desnus is the 5th month. Saranith is the 6th month. 7th month is Estrus. After that is the Moon Festival, the Akama. And that is during the summertime. It's during this time that both moons are full 4 days running. And it's a celebration of multiple things, mainly because the silver moon is full pretty much all week. Asdros is the 8th month, and on the 6th day of the 9th month, you left the mountain home, which is Rova. Then after that is the...
Well, the only reason I asked about the moon is because that was part of the backstory thing, and I presumed, since I left the mountain home, that was one of the things I literally did right afterwards.
Oh yeah, that's right, you did too. And sorry, it was 364, because it's a 364 year. So if you celebrated the Moon Festival, you probably left... Right. Now the question is, would you have been able to see it? No, you wouldn't have, because it's over the whole entire country. So whereabouts do you think you would have celebrated the Moon Festival?
I guess since we're meeting up with Flint, I guess it'll be here, the nearest coastal port.
Oh, that's a
Sorry,
question.
there you are.
Flint, did you want to be here for a year?
I was just kind of assuming it was fairly new, but if we're setting it up that way so that don't have to deal with the whole getting a tin thing, that's fine too.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna be back in just 1 second. I'm gonna walk my dog.
no worries, man.
It's like maybe not a full year. She's still getting used to it. Maybe like half a year or something like that, but still just long enough.
Sure thing. So where have you made your home? Is the question. Where do you think you would have made most comfortable place? Palestrom is the closest to having Roman Bathorium style culture and buildings. So
Yeah, probably that one.
Palestrom.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let's see. You've been here for a year. Half a year. Sorry. Could you roll me a D364? Wow, okay. So you would have arrived back on the 9th, the first month. 19th of the first month. Awesome.
That's easy. How cold would it have been? Like, what's the weather?
It's around winter's end.
That's good.
And around that time, it would have been a bit cold, but not freezing over. It would have started warming up.
Oh man, that would have meant that the long ship thing would have been during the winter. That would have sucked.
You arrived...
You said it takes like a month by ship or so, right? Or more.
2 months or so, yeah.
Right through the dead of winter. Fun.
Well, you probably experienced a case of... No, through the dead of winter. Ouch, wow.
Just a piece of saying, fuck, it's cold, fuck, it's cold, fuck, it's cold.
And you were here for about 6 months. You were here for the Winter's End Festival. That was
Brought a
probably a
crap
great
ton of
time
blankets.
for you. First month, second month, third month, fourth month. Okay, gotcha. Interesting. What time did I say you guys start? 3 more months. Okay, so you were here basically for about that long. If I'm going to throw you down here in the 11th of the 27th, is basically when you guys meet up. Is the 11th of the 27th. So, just for a little bit of information, around the 7th month, I believe it was, 1 second, let me just double check. Yes, around the 7th month, is basically when you guys are starting. Sorry, I'm Australian. I do day, month, year. I guess I'm gonna have to flip that for you guys.
No,
You do?
that's
That's
fine.
normal.
But 27th is a month.
Wait, how many months are there?
Sorry, apologies. Month, day, day, month, year is how I say it. 27th of the 11th.
No, it'd be month day here. So the 11th month, that's the 27th day of the 11th month. But you write it as in the 11th month, 27th day.
It's 11th month that you guys meet up together.
Okay.
27th of the 11th month is when you meet up together. So, Galenta, you and your butler are staying in Palestrom. And basically, on the 7th month, on the 27th day of the 7th month, to the south, you saw a beam of light firing to the sky. Like a huge, gigantic beam of energy firing to the sky.
I'm not gonna meta that, but that's hilarious.
It's around that time that you would have seen it because it was quite literally, basically, yeah. It's 6 months in. Half a year you would have seen this thing suddenly just bursting into the sky. This is quite literally before the Moon Festival.
She doesn't know whether that's a blessing or a curse there.
No one knew what it was. Everyone panicked. A lot of people panicked. Shit.
I'm like,
Anyway.
what the hell are they doing on this continent?
Yeah, so the question is now, where are the dwarf and the gnome at that point of time? Because you're probably on travel somewhere. If you're heading to Palestrom from that mountain range, you probably would have been traveling through Elistrim land. Because it would take even longer to get to Kalandorian.
There's no real path to that place. I have no idea where I'd be going.
Yeah, can we actually put people's icons at points?
Oh
so
yeah,
we
sorry.
can-
Yeah, sorry.
I have control of my token.
Sorry, I haven't given you control of these things yet. Why is it not letting me grab them? There we go.
Because
You two are down there.
I wouldn't mind going, I don't know, to another mountain range. So I guess up here. Is there anyone living in these?
So you guys probably would have left before the Moon Festival. So 255 would have left you when, what month did I say it was? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th month. You would have left on the 9th month. So let's figure out how long it would have taken you. 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. It would have taken you about 22, nearly a month to get all the way to the deserts of Alistrim, which is located here. So it would have taken you about a month to get over here. You got to experience an interesting vessel. Traveling the great dunes of Alistrim are a vessel that skims across the sand like it is the ocean water. It is called a sand skiff, large vessels that skim across the sand. Ever played Monster Hunter?
No.
I have not, but I'm familiar with the concept of sand skiffs.
Yeah, basically they're just sand skiffs. I've actually got an image of them somewhere here. Yeah, that's too far back. But yeah. So yeah, traveling the sands. Just It's the way your name is done. I'm not sure I'm happy with that. Traveling the sands was a different thing. You saw creatures that you've never seen before. I'll tell you now that in the deserts, the Great Dune Seas, there was a creature of large size that breached the sand as if it was the ocean. A creature that is probably the size of a city itself. You were told that they were known as the Dune Whales. And they looked sort of like this. And you never got this close, but this is what you saw. It's in the link channel.
Jesus, they're pretty big, eh?
Yeah, pretty big. And
The
that's a
spice
baby.
must flow.
Here's another image of it.
Jesus.
Yeah, you saw one in the distance, and the pilot of the ship made a big, huge berth of it. Did not go anywhere near it. You saw a couple of them swimming through the sands. You also saw small shark-like creatures. Swimming through the sands as well. They acted like a mix between dolphins and sharks. Like they'd swim up along the sides of the ships. Never really accosted you guys, but it still was a problem. So, those are the few creatures you've seen on your trips through the Dune Seas. Let's see. You would have arrived in Palestrom area early in the year, around the same time of Dimitri and Galenta, actually.
Sorry, Galatea.
Galatea, sorry. So 10th month, 11th month, 12th month. Yeah, actually, you probably would have arrived in Palestrom around the time of the same time that she and her butler arrived in Palestrom. Yeah, I've already taken that into account.
Yeah, it's not that I
Okay.
stopped giggling maniacally at any point, by the way. It's just that I had pauses.
Have to breathe sometime.
Exactly.
That would be kind of hilarious if she just giggled so hard that she passed out for a while and got back up, started giggling again, passed out again.
Okay. So yeah, I've estimated that you guys would have arrived at the same time, around the same time in January. And, well, not January, I should say, in Abydus. Experiencing the Winter's End Festival in Palestrom yourselves. I guess you would have spent the next couple of months working things out. I'll just change the month, day, stuff like that, because it doesn't fit anymore.
I'm back also. Hello.
Okay.
I saw stuff about Monster Rancher. I mean, not Monster Rancher, Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Monster Rancher is a very different game.
That's definitely different.
That is. It is.
I played a lot more of one than the other.
I played both.
Yeah, Monster Rancher was amazing.
Indeed it was. No, don't be dick, you stupid motherfucking thing. The moment where you're trying to edit the damn page and it's doing the wrong thing. Now, for some reason, it's deciding that I've pushed the insert key, so it's doing that complete override of it.
Sticky keys?
God knows. Anywho, let's go back into this. So now the question is, how long has Esther been over?
A bunch of years.
A bunch of years?
Yeah, like maybe 30.
30 is a bit hard to believe if you come from Galandar.
All right. I'm not 100% of the timeline, but she's been here for a while.
Okay. Roll me a d20. "13 years.
All right.
So now the question is, are you staying in Pansantrum?
Hell no.
Where are you?
She's definitely in the first tribe you circled out, so the one that's all filled out.
One that's all filled out?
Yeah, the one that has all the cities with the names.
Okay.
Probably not a coastal one. Especially when she first got over, she wouldn't want to be recognized. So low traffic areas are probably best. Especially ones that aren't really connected to the place she just ran from.
Right, so this area here, down here, is very much a far distance location compared to where a lot of the adventurers were coming from Galandar. You would have probably hopped on another ship immediately after landing in the coastal city of Astrum that handled any of the imports. Probably got you would have to have gotten a passport. That's the biggest problem, which would have required you getting a chit.
Oh yeah, she just straight up has a fake chit.
The difficulty of making that happen quite high.
From the thing for me that I'm looking at it from is either she doesn't have a chit under her real name, or she just has two chits. More or less because of charlatan.
Okay.
Like charlatan just straight up says whatever documents you need to make a appropriately forged identity, you have it.
Yeah, this one is a bit harder because this is a different situation from what you're used to. When you first arrived here in Calinstime, you thought, I could do this. I can make a fake passport. You heard a little bit of stories that this country uses a certain special thing, and you probably would have tried to make one at your best of ability, not knowing what they look like. You got here, and when you were told that it's not a valid one, you were probably escorted to that at the Adventurers Hall. There, they actually were able to get a lot of information about you. They had little care about it because they had no details about your previous existence. But you have a chit. You can roll me a forgery check to make another fake one if you want.
I don't have proficiency in forgery kits.
You don't?
Nope. I dropped it for cooking.
You took the cooking
Oh,
tools.
that's right. It's gonna be hard then. You'd have to
You
steal
could make
one.
a cake in the shape of a chit.
Stealing one
I
is-
think what's happened, like the way I think a good way to get around it is like she just showed up and lied about who she was.
Yeah, well, the thing is that the way that the system works is that you stand in front of what is a mirror, and that mirror shows you a certain it shows you a certain aspect of yourself to you, and no one else can see this aspect, but what happens is it allows you to be read by the Adventurers Guild's system that then programs the chit. It's a magical... It's an artifact itself that has a different set of shards throughout the country.
No, I get it. But what I'm saying is, like, let's say the chit, like, for ease's sake, like, has a serial number on it. So she got a magical fingerprint, but the magical fingerprint wasn't tied to any identity, and so she makes a false identity to tie the legit information to. So basically, she showed up with fake papers, and now all the fake papers are tied to her actual chit.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. It doesn't work like that.
But like, how would they learn her name beyond?
It's scribed, and the one thing that is interesting about these chits, and you're informed about this when you receive it, is that these chits only basically illegible by anyone other than the Adventurers Hall themselves, and anyone that you give blessing to be able to see the name. So on it is a runic mark that is unable to be read by anybody except those of the Adventurers Hall that deal with you, and is only then shown when you sign in, and those of fellow party members.
But is this my true name or something?
Yes, it is your true name. You probably freaked out when you first received your true name on it, but when you say "I don't want anyone to know this" or something like that, and such, you are the person behind the counter doesn't even care about your reactions. She's already going into a spiel of the instructions about how this works, because you're like the 58,000th Galander person that's come over to the continent, so she's fucking bored of trying to do this. So she's already gone into a spiel about it. The chits do not show any information unless you wish them to show the information. The only ones that have the exact information is yourself and that of the Adventurers Hall's deep records. The chances of accessing this is none. Do not panic. Anyone able to access this doesn't give a fuck about you. Quite literally, she's saying this because, literally, as I said, you're the 58,000th person that's done this.
Okay, that's all fine. Then a non-issue. Yeah. I don't care. It's fine.
Quite, as I said, the only people that get to know your actual name are the people that you allow to be able to read your chit, or the Adventurers Hall themselves. The thing is that you can actually get coin. You can actually get a bounty for recovering lost adventurers by finding their bodies deep in dungeons, for example, and returning their chits to the Adventurers Hall type thing. So they can register it as a dead adventurer.
Do you get issued new chits as you level, or
they get upgraded? Yes, yeah, they do get upgraded, and that chit is destroyed, and the new one is replacing in current chit.
So what I'm hearing is that if I wanted to be able to take someone's chit, I would have to have permission to be able to read it and then kill them,
and other things. But basically permission to be able to read it, so you know that their name and everything like that. But it wouldn't work with the Adventurers Hall because, for example, they know who everyone is, and you carrying somebody else's chit the moment that you put it through the Adventurers Hall, for example, it will tell them who that owner is, and quite literally, you are informed that this is locked to you.
If you have a high level chit, you can fake it to normies, but the guild will know.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I can tell you right now that I was planning on having her lie about her trinket being her chit all the
time. What's your trinket again?
A chunk of pink coral that radiates magic.
That's an interesting one, because there is no pink in this world for the chits.
Yeah, I know.
But no, you can sell that as much as you want to the NPCs.
Until a while ago, there wasn't a giant beam that fired up into the sky either.
No, there was a giant beam that fired up in the sky plenty of times ago. This happened very early in the games.
Wait, is this regularly happening?
Yeah, regularly happening?
Nope. This just happened.
Right, so
that's what I'm saying. Up to a certain point, there wasn't a giant beam firing up into the sky, so there could be pink too.
No. What it is that the giant beam was Zareth.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Shaggy's character, yeah.
Nobody else knows that.
We're trying to sell it to people by saying, the world is changing. Look at what happened just over there the other week.
Sure.
She has expertise in deception. She'll find a way.
Sure. So either way, you basically would have experienced a case of being over here, you have a new life.
Yeah.
The chances of someone finding you very easily would be very slim. And even if they did, the chances of them being able to activate any attempts to do anything is very hard because of how the system works. In this country, the different guilds actually take a lot more responsibility. Like there is actually a guild for every class, for example. And the Rogues Guild... He's playing with it again.
Oh, the toy.
Cat, yeah. Sorry, I'm just wondering how... It's a cat, he figures it out, but fucking hell, how does he reach it? Anywho, so in this world, there is a series of guilds that work underneath the Adventurers Guild that take care of different personages of different classes. Like there's a Fighters Guild that basically covers fighters, rangers, and all military style people. There's the Rogues Guild, and there's the churches and everything like that. Right? The Rogues Guild basically handles a lot of the assassination goals and everything like that. Anything that is just above board, the Adventurers Hall will allow, but only through the Rogues Guild. Anything that is below board, the Adventurers Hall actually shuts down. You can't ask for a murder to happen. You know what I mean?
Wait, below
Like
board? Below what?
There is below board. Like every quest has to be accepted underneath a set of rules by the Adventurers Hall.
Okay.
This would be definitely something that your character would have been experiencing, Flint.
Yeah, because she definitely has an eye on that shit.
Yeah, you would have actually asked about how a quest could be set up and such, and this probably led you to having to do it freelancing, and this is why it took a while to find these people. But the idea is that the Adventurers Hall has a series of rules, and these rules basically say what can be and what can't be a quest that can be assigned to adventurers. Certain quests, such as high-level assassinations, are definitely below board. You know what I mean? General theft and such, like someone comes forward and says, like, this person stole something from me, I want it back, can be given to the Rogues Guild to handle it for rogues to do missions and everything like that. You know what I mean? But Adventurers Hall generally doesn't open these up to open things. But there is another group within the actual system. They are called the Workers Guild. The Workers Guild is basically adventurers that have fallen so far off the bandwagon that they no longer actually are considered adventurers. These are the mercenaries of literal swords for hire type things. They do everything that no one else is willing to touch. Basically, any adventurer that receives 3 marks is usually expelled from the Adventurers Hall system, and you don't get to advance any further in the world. And you're basically stuck as a criminal, for lack of a better word. But the Workers Guild basically will pick you up and protect you to a certain point. You know, one of those cases of where you're friends until you fuck up situation. These are the rogue guilds that you normally think of when you think about criminals.
Okay. So what about
rogue...
if she was asking about basically extradition of somebody high level for trial back home?
That would fall underneath a case of they would accept it if it's a trial for back home. You're informed that the Adventurers Hall does not condone any killing of any high-level people, but upon capture and such, you have the support of the Adventurers Hall, but it does cost a lot of coin, not only to afford the adventurers, but also to afford the right of arrest.
Okay, so that would be why he's doing all this shit then.
Yes. The Adventurers Hall does deal with a lot of this political shit. Like, they actually have arcing powers over both countries, but they are of a third-party neutral type thing.
Okay.
And they actually have their main headquarters here in Palestrim because it is a third-party neutral city in the whole entire continent.
Oh man, if I ever die, the perfect idea for a character.
Right, so yeah, where was I? Yeah, so basically your character would feel, Josh, your character would definitely feel, Esther would definitely feel, Alex, sorry.
Yeah.
Esther would definitely feel a lot more comfortable being here in Calinstime.
Even when she just lands, like, she probably wouldn't register for any part of the Adventurers Guild. She literally is a baker.
Yeah.
For a long time, she sets up a bakery in some town and lives quiet, and then, like, just basically got bored.
Yeah. One of the main things is that even general citizens have to be registered underneath a certain system. Coming from a different continent, you are sent to the Adventurers Hall first and foremost. It quite literally is, you make landing and you're escorted to the Adventurers Hall.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying that she wouldn't at least not at the start. Like, she's probably now registered under the Rogues Guild, but at the start she doesn't register under the Rogues Guild.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, even if there is, like, actual more protections at the start, she doesn't trust it.
Yeah, of course, I accept that, yeah. So she lived a basic normal life for a while.
Yeah. Considering how she's been here for 13, she probably came over with a small child, and like that kid is more or less running where she's leaving now.
Yeah.
And I picture she'd probably leave a little bit after the end of the autumn festival, because like that's when business slows down.
Yep. No worries. What's this? Psychos Pass's civil system?
It's an anime series. It's basically like the entire country is run by a big computer system full of brains that know everything about everyone and know what their like mood is all the time.
Yeah, to a degree.
I'm just picturing Alex being like, Giovanni, you run the store for a little while. I go out. You handle. And
Yep.
Doesn't come back.
Nothing's back.
Also, I'm amused that there's a town called Ranma. I think are there hot springs in that town?
Ranma? No, it was just a random word that someone said. I just said, give me different random names. It just
Somebody
was one
really
that
likes
came up.
Ranma.
I don't know, I just grabbed one at random. So,
It's
now
really
the
only
question-
like half a city anyway.
So in this district of the Karishian Dunes, there is 4 main cities. There is Mal, there's Karishin, and there's Bora, located on the coast of the lake that's inland. The 4th main city is that of Kishtu. That one is located in the center. The other 3 are smaller towns. Which of the ones would you have set up in?
Honestly, probably Ramna. It's
Ramna?
close. It's close enough to a river stream to get supplies like well enough, but also far away enough from everything that like you can stay
No
quiet.
worries. And what's your bakery called?
Ooh.
And what style of bakery it is. You've got to remember, this area here is very much Islamic Indian-styled people. And you are very much what were you, a Bathorian woman?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
You're
she's
trying to
probably,
stick out a little bit.
she's probably not baking sweets.
No cannolis.
I mean, that would be awesome, right? I mean, hell, if she could have a straight up sweets bakery, then sure.
Well, sweet dreams.
Yes.
She's just making cannolis all day.
I did actually
Is
work
it
in a
called
bakery
Sweet
called
Dreams?
Sweet Dreams. I literally did.
I don't know if they're called Sweet Dreams. God, what's a good name for a bakery?
Because I'm actually adding it.
No, I'm trying to think of a sweet pun.
What's your child's name?
Oh, crap, I had a name and I forgot it.
Is it an actual child of Esther, or is it just a child that she picked up off the streets to use as a cover?
No, it's her actual kid.
Okay.
If she came over 13 years ago, then the kid has to be a little bit older.
Yeah. Probably about 23 now, if anything.
To be taking over, like probably came over like at least when they were 8.
8. So yeah, 21 years old. Male, female?
I was picturing female, but the only name I can think of is Ishmael, which is definitely a dude's name.
It's doing it again. It's really weird.
There's Ishtar.
And here I just handed you, Giovanni.
What?
So in here I just handed you, Giovanni.
There you go, Giovanna.
So it's a female Bathorium named...
Gina.
Names.
Come back to it.
Yeah, I'm looking up names real quick.
So I'm horribly misculturing them. Bathorians are who?
Bathoriums are the Roman Greek type people that came from Galander.
That is Galatea.
Daughter's name is Karina.
Karina?
Yeah.
Ka or Ca?
Oh right, yeah, no, she would have been born on the other continent. Crap.
Or Esther could have forced a new name on her.
That's true. She did force a new name on herself too. Yeah, okay, Karina's good.
Karina with a K?
Yep, Karina with a K. I literally just looked up actresses, Careema.
She's gonna have a surprising day if she ever goes to get registered.
Say again, sorry.
Careena.
Eena,
Yep.
and that's with a K instead of a C.
Yes.
Okay.
And none of us typed this out because why?
Oh, yeah,
Eh.
good point.
Doesn't matter.
It's like the perfect use case for typing stuff out, though.
Yeah, it is.
No worries. At a young age, she probably did get registered, but she still kept the name her grandmother gave her. Because her grandmother probably would have instilled that it was a bad idea not to use any other name but the ones that she gave her. So,
Grandmother or just older mother?
either way. Care mother? Is it actually of blood? Who knows?
These things matter. They matter so much.
Sorry, I like just space out.
Don't worry.
Okay, my question was, mother or grandmother?
Oh, she's a grandmother, but this is her daughter.
Oh, okay.
At this point, her daughter has a daughter, because that's how grandmothers work.
That is the usual progression, yes.
Is Esther her real name, by the way?
Nope.
Okay. I'll need you to message me her real name in the future.
Okay, I'll do it right now.
Or at least add it to your character sheet someplace that I can read it. Because no one... Actually, you can just put it in... You can put it in your notes. The note
Fair enough.
page part of the thing, because no one else can look at your character. Yeah, you can literally put secret shit in your thing, because only you can see your character sheet. For the sake of the fact that it's going to be a very hard thing to read every now and then, can we please change your character's name to just the first and last name and put the rest in the actual character bio?
Oh, for my character?
Lynn. No, for Lynn.
Oh, okay.
For Little Miss, I have a gnome, so I have to name my character a very long name because there's a thing.
I know
My parents are traditionalists.
Doesn't matter.
I found the perfect name for the bakery.
Fantastic. What is it?
The Grateful Bread.
The Grateful Bread.
Yep.
Lol.
I accidentally hit my button for a spell check because grateful wasn't. I didn't spell grateful correctly, and it came up regretful. The first spell check was regretful. I understand your name makes you happy, but well, which one is the lower clan name for your clan?
See, the
That seemed about
perfect use
right.
case for typing.
Okay.
And by the end of this campaign, everyone will know it. And be able to recite it by heart.
You'll make sure of it.
And what did I say? That name of the clan? No, I'm just down. Right. So far, I have only got it in a few things, but there we go. There's the major clan, the Iron Eaters, the Dat and Debs, the Bronze Brews, the Bronze Brewers, the Nam Shkidad, Shkirad, Nam Shkriwad. Oh, what am I looking at in the link channel? I didn't realize that was actually a thing. I don't watch Doctor Who as much as I should.
Oh
That's
yeah,
Wait,
I
what I
really
miss?
liked Harry Jones.
Oh. I love the fact that even the aliens know who the hell she is.
Oh my god, Harry Jones? I've cosplayed her. It's wonderful.
Anywho. Where was I at? Yes, so the question is when does Esther get to Palestrom?
Sorry, I was watching Harriet Jones Prime Minister.
Yes. Yes, we know who you are.
Honestly, the timeline's pretty flexible. It could have been like she could have been hanging around here for a while.
Okay.
So whatever works out. Like I also picture her bumming around, kind of.
No worries.
So like, if within the timeline it would have made sense for her to get by within a year, I'm fine with it. With her coming in a year ago.
No worries. Easy as. Okay, so let's see. Beginning
The
of the year?
districts are subdivided by walls.
Yeah. This is a
Gonna,
map.
gonna fight against the Titans.
Thank you. There's actually a. Yeah. Just be aware that the terrain is actually flipped. So imagine where it's. If you might notice on the far right of the actual map, it has a compass that says north there. Right? That is actually pointing incorrectly. The Caravas's ward and everything like that here on the bottom right hand corner of the map is actually supposed to be in the north, and the Adventurers Hall is supposed to be on the south, which is the Imperial Quarter, and the island's supposed to be that, and the sea is supposed to be out here where the script down the bottom left hand corner is. So it mentally just mirror image everything. Like, just rotate it. If you know what I mean. Yes?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. The reason is that this city is actually the city type of city that I've been looking for to describe how I wanted the central location to be, and I couldn't find a city map that had the goal that I wanted. And then I stumbled across this one. It was like, oh my god, it's 90% perfect.
100%.
90%. It's, the north is a bit off. Oh, now it's fine. So It's not just that, but it's also the fact that the ocean isn't. The ocean is that way. Is the ocean flow that goes to the ocean? As you can see, I'm terrible at writing with my mouse.
I don't think anyone is actually good at it.
I could show you videos that would make you cry.
I know, right?
Also, it is clear that when you pee from the amphitheater in the mercantile quarter, you pee in the sea.
Wait, what? Where's the amphitheater? Oh yeah. Yeah, probably.
They have literal pissing contests in the theater.
They
Yeah,
didn't have
either way.
video games at the time.
So, a few things to note. There is a Colossus bronze statue located in the center of the mercantile quarter.
Oh
This
fuck!
is basically... It's not an actual Colossus. It's just a Colossus statue.
It's a
not a-
weeping angel.
God damn it!
It's a Colossus bronze statue of a Bothorian man. And he is rumored to be the man who conquered Parastrum. Let's see,
Well, we
what else
don't-
is there?
When you say rumored, like people don't know, like one
It's
day
been
this
500
statue showed up.
years. It's
Ah.
been 500 years. It is the general belief that it is the man who conquered the city, but no one remembers his name. It's fucking annoying. See, what happened was
Ozymandias?
that...
His name
Sorry?
was Ozymandias, King of Kings.
Probably. The Bothorian blood has actually bled out over the 500 years. There's no one here in the country, in the whole entire of the city, other than the new people that have just recently arrived from Bothorium, who actually have Bothorian blood still in them. There are plenty that still state that they do. If anything, it's like 1% of their actual blood is Bothorium.
Go, yeah, name
And-
5 houses.
Hmm?
Like, you go up to them, yeah, really name 5 houses. I bet you can't.
Yeah, I know, that's what I mean. They'll name the houses here in the city, who are mostly were based off Bothorians that actually had high-ranking power before they slowly started bleeding out.
But they
I
don't
don't know,
look right at all.
Galatea, you better watch it. This continent eats Betharians.
No, it's just more along the lines of 500 years ago, the emperor who conquered Parastrum only brought over his army and didn't bring over many women, which led to a case of the Bothorian soldiers marrying Calinstime women to live their lives because they never went back. And 500 years of just marrying Calinstrimian women and such led to a case of it just disappearing.
That's fine. I'm still going to make that joke.
Yeah. But no, there's very little that still have Bothorian blood, so the case that there's Bothorians now that are able to actually walk these streets find it very weird, because no one remembers of the actual Bothorian culture, remembers who this emperor is as well. There's a story of an emperor going missing 500 years ago, like one year he just disappeared. But because he disappeared in his young youth, he kind of disappeared before anyone could write down his name type thing. He became the Forgotten Emperor.
Oh, so even back in Bathra.
Yeah.
Huh.
No one can remember what he looks like. He became the Forgotten Emperor. Left 1 year with his army and never came back. Got aboard some boats, sailed across the Great Sea, and never came back.
You see, Galatea? If you're not careful, the continent will even eat your name.
Oh, that's just terrible.
I know, right? Some things to note to those that have been living in Palestine for a while. Every week, the noblemen of the Imperial Quarter decide a new ban within the Imperial Quarter. There is actually a minor grade of socialism here in this city. It is like the Dwarf Fortress. I actually went onto the forums and asked, guys, I need something that nobles would ban every week in a city.
Wait, ban? Like,
Yes.
not allowed?
The nobles have forbidden the creation of certain items.
Or
Oh.
even the fact that live animals could not be in this Imperial Quarter. So for a good
And one
week,
time, nobody is allowed
the
to dance,
carriages.
and then it's footloose.
Yeah. There was a case of whilst the players, like Group 1 was here in Santa animals were not allowed within the Imperial Quarter, so the carriages were no longer running because the horses weren't there to pull them.
Also, every wizard is very angry.
There's some weeks there's no magic allowed. You can't cast a spell without being a thing. Some cases it's no wizard rune masters can be in the city, which are wizards, rune workers they're called. Sorry,
Within the city or within the Imperial Quarter?
Imperial Quarter. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm just trying to
because-
figure out what, like, the realistic reasoning for this is. Like, everyone is just like,
Well, for the
"Ha-ha!"
animals, it was a case of one of the nobles stepped in a pile of horse shit and decided, I'm going to make this big, huge problem in court, in the next council meeting, and I want them out.
Oh,
Generally,
I bet
it's the
that was
case of-
my cousin, and I'm going to deal with that.
And then everyone's like, oh my fucking god, you can't ban animals because then we can't ride our carriages. Put it back
it's
the way it
basically
was.
a week later that would be brought back. It's like, this is dumb. This is dumb. This is dumb. It's a case of each week something changes because some upstart decides to make a problem.
And this is why actual Bathra is an empire, and this is just a piece of crap.
Yeah, it was a case of they used this Bathorium Council system.
I like the idea of you coming here and just being like, there's just a bunch of like weird racist caricatures of the stuff you actually do back home. That like they've just bastardized the rituals to like weird extents. You're
She's
like,
just
I can see where
horrified
this
every
came
other day.
from, but like,
Quite literally, Bathoriums find it a laughing stock that these people come and pretend to be a council.
Like, oh, what have they
And-
done to Bronze Dragon chess? It's not played that way. You need at least 5 pieces more.
Pretty much. Games aren't allowed, different things. Colors sometimes are banned within the Imperial Quarter.
She just like sees something incredibly horrifying and just has to sit down and have Dimitri fan her.
The Imperial
Growing
Quarter
feet.
the Imperial Quarter is the most Bathorium-styled agriculture and architecture within the city, because the old district actually was an actual city. This was the original city that was conquered. The Imperial Quarter was built up over the times because the Bathorian Emperor didn't enjoy living in a Elistinian-styled palace, so he had one built on the other shore. So yeah. Gains? When did I say gains?
Just before colors.
Games.
games.
Like board games, card games,
Ah.
dice games. Those
I
things
think-
were completely banned for a while because a noble lost a game of cards one day and decided, fuck this shit, I'm out.
I like banning gains. Like
Fuck
one
this
day the
shit, I'm
noble's
out.
just like, this diet is bullshit, and just like bans all gains. Can't live healthy. Dirty bulk only.
So yeah, every week there's a different thing banned. Which is fun as fuck to do. Luckily the guys got out of here before the next rotation of the bans.
If anyone bans jewelry or makeup, she is going to go riot.
It's only in the Imperial Quarter. The Old Quarter, you're fine to do whatever the fuck you want, but there's problems in the Old Quarter. Now, let's explain Palestrom, because you guys have spent a good couple of months here. Because you guys would be the date I've changed is not the current date at which you guys are starting, because you have been here for a couple of months after that. This is just stating when you guys all were in the city at the same time for the first time. All right.
Sounds good.
So every single one of you saw the beam of light coming from the south. It was a gigantic, I can't remember what he said it was, red, I think. Red beam of light beaming out of the ground somewhere on the coastline, south of Kalandor, which caused a lot of problems with the Alastrim nobles that lived here in Palastrim, because it's like a melting pot. It acts as the third neutral country, and everyone here is equal. There is the case of football-style rivalry between the two nations, despite the fact this is a third-party nation, city-state. Caledonians still basically argue with Alastrim's people that live on either side of the bridges and stuff like that. Ban beams?
The beam of light.
Nobody liked it.
During the Moon Festival, magic was completely forbidden.
That was definitely one of the times I tried to release a shitload of glowing rats.
Yeah, well, it affected a lot of the light shows that would have usually have been, because a lot of the fireworks were basically... There were still fireworks, but no gunpowder, so it's all magical fireworks. There's no gunpowder in this world.
Where you told me I wasn't allowed to bring the dough of making it, and that's fine.
There's no gunpowder allowed.
Gunpowder.
Yeah.
Gunpowder.
There's no flash powder, there's nothing like that.
Flinty takes away gunpowder and he thinks I'm limited.
So I guess what we're saying is, like, there's basically no navies.
No, there's navies. They use
Yeah, there were definitely you use
elite
ballista,
navies.
siege weapons, and shit.
Boardings techniques, bow and arrow. Just because they didn't have cannons didn't stop them from being able to do things. Fuck. Magical cannonades.
Grimner, we totally need to go to a boarding party. I want to get some boarding party favors.
What? Oh,
Boarding party favors, you know?
Axes and such.
Yes. Hate people who do what?
Anyway.
I agree.
So, as I was saying, on this map, the Alastrim deserts are to the bottom right, and the Kalandor plains are to the north, to the left, and the ocean is to the bottom left-hand corner. So, despite the fact that mentally the north should be the upwards, it's actually that way, and east and west are flipped. Okay. So, in the city, there is a few things that you guys learned very quickly. Number one, the Garden Ward. The Garden Ward is generally a place where the Alastrim, what's we call it? What were they called again? I deleted the fucking thing. Let me bring up the actual thing to remind myself. Tribune. Yes, the Alastrim. There's 3 different tribunes within the city of Palastrim. There's the tribune of the Alastrims, and he lives in the Garden Ward Palace. There's the tribune of Kalandor, who lives up here in the Palace Ward of the Kalandor side, and then there's finally the Adventurous Hall tribune, which acts as like the hierarchy of the 3 tribunes, and he works within the whole entire city itself. And this represents the 3 different city-states, the 3 different countries that exist in this place. Interestingly, the guy who is the Palastrim Tribune is also the leader of the Adventurous Hall. And he actually is a gnome himself, a very famous gnome by the name of Flotchinotchifilification.
You don't get to say anything about me at all.
Change your name back.
Flotchinotchifilification is his full name. He generally is referred to as Flocky.
I think we can all sense the injustice that just occurred here.
smash the system!
Yes, this is his full name.
Wait, it's all one word?
Yep.
Dang.
Flocinoki vilification. That is his full
Gesundheit.
name.
That is almost as good as the name as Gisanthropus.
That's actually a
I love
word
those.
from the English dictionary, by the way.
Is it really?
That
It
is
is.
actually a word in the English dictionary.
What the fuck does it mean?
Flossy,
It's a-
nussy, nihilipilification.
Oh, I thought you meant Gisanthropus.
It is the
Yeah.
estimation of something as valueless.
Wow. That's
He has
kind
a
of like
fantastically
Scar's
says-
original name for the Lion King just being trash.
He has a fantastically sesquipedalian name.
The whole point is whenever he introduces himself, he's deeming you valueless. That's how he likes to see it anyway. But yeah, he calls himself Flocky. It's Latin. So anyway, yeah. Hey, I know the rules about gnomes and naming gnomes. At least I shorten it for people. I had a gnome by the name of Renoli Locky once. And he
I mean,
was
I'm
called
not going
Roppy.
to complain if anyone calls me Lynn.
Yeah, I know. It's easy. It's just more for the way of just trying to read the actual script. I have to go past your 3 lines of name before I get to see what you actually said.
I mean,
You
it's
don't
not
have
that hard
to.
to remember Lynn, Zilly, Mamiana, Payani, Grace, Sistina, Zertana, Waywalk, Zioni, Tessakir, right, is it?
I was gonna say, you don't have to scroll past it. You get to scroll past it. It's a blessing.
Exactly.
Anyway, so yeah, he works as the Adventurous Hall leader. He's very rarely seen, except by those that actually go and visit him. But he's got an open door policy. The door's open, get the fuck out. Nah. He's very much a person that you can actually go and visit at any time, if he has time for you. But he's a very busy man. No.
So I suppose the question is if you fuck up, does he just make time for you?
Oh, he makes time for you if you fuck up. He made time for somebody a while back. Yeah, the first party actually had to deal with him a lot. Anyway, so here in Palestrim, there is the 3 tribunes: the Alistrim, who lives in the Garden Ward, the Caledorium Tribune that lives in the Palace Ward, and Flocky, who lives wherever the fuck he wants. There's actually no one actually knows where he lives. Some rumor that he never leaves his office. Anyway, most of the buildings that you see on the listings are there, so there's no problems with looking at the listings there. But a few I've put up there to represent their locations and other things, so it's a lot more easy to find. Adventurers usually stick to the Caravans Ward or that of the Mercantile Quarter. It's really hard to find a place to stay within the Imperial Quarter because they're generally dicks, and it's like, do I really have to deal with these people? But sometimes it's a case of working within the Victory Ward. I haven't really located anything there because I actually had the map incorrectly flipped in my head to begin with and had them come in the wrong direction. Yeah, we fixed it later on. Anyway, the the Temple Ward is based off the Alistrimian gods, and there is actually a quarter there. 1/4 of the actual place is called Hikokan Town. Basically, there is a series of people that live here that are Hikokans. They have always looked a bit weird, and they speak a strange language and such. No one here knows how to speak it.
It's a little Tokyo of this place.
It's Chinatown, Tokyo, and Korea all at once. Let's see, what else? Let's see. Was there anything else I was going to say? Just double checking something. One thing that you do find interesting. How do you pronounce your game name again? Sorry, Flynn. Character's name.
Galatea Diaveri.
Galatea. One thing that you did find interesting is that Dimitri can speak to them.
Huh.
But they don't speak to him.
Oh, so he just knows that they understand him, but...
No, he understood them.
Oh.
He understood them and could act as your translator, but whilst he was around you, no one spoke to you or him. In fact, you guys experienced a case of you aren't supposed to be here. But you don't have a feeling that it was directed towards you. A lot of malice was directed towards Dimitri.
Well, they don't deserve him anyway, so...
Yeah. It's more along like you were doing a tour of the city and everything like that, and you thought, oh, this looks interesting, and all of a sudden, no one wanted to deal with you. Everyone was trying to get you to leave, and Dimitri would occasionally whisper to you what they were saying to you, because they never spoke common.
Huh. Yeah, at that point, if she noticed it was because of him, she might have, like, looked like she was about to get angry, and then he probably pulled her out of there to stop her from doing something stupid.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of men around the place that had weapons of strange shape and design that kind of set him a bit off edge as well. Basically, samurai swords and Dao swords and all that jazz.
I think the key question to ask yourself is how smashable do they look? Probably pretty smashable.
Yes. But the amount there would have led to a case of death before maybe 3 smashes.
Yeah. She's got a temper, but that's why she has Dimitri around to make her not do things.
Either way, you did experience the Hikokan town. Others that probably wanted to have a tour through it, you found it a case of you could never understand a single thing that they said. They had a lot of strange foods cooking, and the prices were extremely high. So I doubt anyone spent any money to buy anything. Yes, Lynn. You probably experienced some of their wine. It was very rich, basically sake.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
What are the chances that I could try to deceive my way into being a cook for one of the people in the Imperial Quarter? Basically exchanging services for laundering.
Probably high.
All right.
A few other things that you find out. Let's see. Adventurers Bold is basically the Adventurers Hall open state here on this side. I haven't really designed one for the other side because players have basically stayed in the old quarter most of the times of the first group. But Adventurers Bold is basically the hub for the adventurers and such. It's your basic Adventurers Hall, or Adventurers Guild Hall, and everything like that, where you can go get missions. Sometimes, if you are down on luck, they can rent you out rooms, but these rooms are basically first in, best dressed, and you must be out the next day. Like, there's no constant booking of these rooms type thing. It's mercy rooms, for lack of a better word. 3 Palms and the seven Jug Caravasi, competing taverns within the area, but the 7 Jugs Caravasi, I believe, is the better quality one. Let's see. The Artisan's Ward is basically the place you go to get anything made, except for metalworking. The metalworking is something that is restricted to that of the Metalworkers Guild Hall located in the Imperial Quarter. And the leather workers. Leather workers are down in the poor ward. What else would you have found out? Is anyone partaking in gambling and stuff?
You know it.
Yeah, you would have probably found out about these guys. These guys are called the Golden Scimitars. They run a huge gig, which is a floating, a more constantly moored 3-mast ship, and that is called the Floating Princess. The Floating Princess is that dock that the ship is standing alone on off the port ward, and it's basically a casino.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's done up like a giant casino in the style of Arabian styled. There is plenty of women wearing silk cloth that is basically see-through to the point of they don't even need to wear anything 90% of the time. There's plenty of drinks and there's plenty of different games and all that jazz. There's also a lot of oiled men that act as bouncers and also eye candy at the same time.
Oh yeah, she's hanging out there all day.
Yeah. But the dock ward itself, the dock ward is a place that everyone is advised that you never really want to go there. There's no point going there unless you're a rogue, because that's where the rogue guild hall is. But the dock ward is basically the dead man's area. It's a place where there is like 4 or 5 gangs that fight over this territory because the Golden Scimitars work the whole entire port ward. Whilst the 5 other gangs have to fight over the dock ward. Oh, I hate you already, my dears. Anyway. So yeah.
You love us and you know it.
Yep.
I do. He's playing. Excuse me, I'm gonna go do something about that thing. Just found out he's not playing with it. It's activating by itself in a creepy way, and I also have to get going. Yeah, I have to get going.
It's haunted. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool with me.
It's
I
going
can continue
to
when I
hit your
get back if you guys are
name.
still ready for me to keep going later on. Dwarves are mostly located in the Harbour Ward. The dwarves basically set up in this area. Just letting you know.
Cool.
So yeah, if you're ever looking for dwarves, they're located in the Harbour Ward. Yeah.
Yeah, mail work sounds good.
Near Silver Street and Coin Street, but that's not speciesist.
What's this?
I said near Silver Street and Coin Street, and that's not speciesist.
Wow.
Yeah. Either way. There's also an alchemist guild that work within the actual Palestrim. If anyone's interested in becoming an alchemist, that's also up for an option.
Are we going to the Metal Walkers Guild Hall? The workers.
Yeah.
The dwarves
Oh,
use,
and some things of note. Number 1, potion making is done by the alchemist guilds, and sale of potions is done through the alchemist guilds. Anyone that is found selling potions outside the alchemist guilds, right? Like if you are not part of the alchemist guild, you actually get hit with a hefty fine. Magical healing, such as clerics' powers and such, are done through the churches. Anyone outside of the churches basically get hit with a hefty fine as well. So it's pretty much a very controlled system.
What about bards?
Bards, they are very much ill-advised to use their magical healing powers, even through song. Yeah, basically the churches have basically put a foot down. You pay us to get healed magically.
Is the equivalent of a church for the druids? Or are druids considered like weird priests?
I can't remember if I was having druids being actually a race that is only limited to forest gnomes, which aren't available to be chosen as NPCs. Because I'm not sure.
Just for the record, I have my next character planned, and you're going to hate her even more.
I hate players that plan next characters. Because
I
I do my best
probably
not to
won't.
kill people off.
I probably won't remember by the time it rolls around, but I might. It's
You'll
not like
have it
I'm
for another
actively
thing.
planning.
The only reason I said I knew the next character I want to play is because I found this third party release that I thought was really cool. That was basically Mage Knight Lawyer. That was awesome. And how the Adventurers Guild set up, I could totally see them fitting in here as like the punishment arm or like the judiciary arm of the Adventurers Guild.
Oh yeah, probably. One thing I want to mention to you guys, you're very much welcome to assist with world building. What I am looking for is a series of gods to represent that of the Alistrim people and that of the Caledonian people. Caledonian people, as I've said before, are Nordic type thing, Celts and Nords, whilst the Alistrims are Israelites and Indian type people. So if you have ideas about what type of gods they would have, I can tell you now one of the gods of the Caledonian people is by the name of Suena. She is the goddess of hope and life and light. Her symbol is that of an Easter egg. Gifts and hope, sorry. Basically, she's a goddess of gifts and such, and clerics of underneath her get a choice of being an oracle from Pathfinder style thing, which is what one of the NPC, one of the NPC PCs of the other party is an oracle.
So how does
Oh, is that Sarah?
Suena.
applied theology? Where do gods come from?
Right,
Gods
the
come
character's
from.
name.
Oh, sorry. Oh, Seda.
Yeah,
is the
that's the one.
NPC. Yeah, that's the one that speaks kind of like this.
Yep.
Yeah. She's not sure.
She got fucked up, poor girl.
Yeah. Luckily, the ward came in to save her from the full first hit. I mean, seriously, that thing, if the first hit had hurt her, and that second hit had critted, which it did, she would have been heart ripped out.
Ouch.
Yeah, there's no save from that shit. That thing kills you if it gets a critical.
Yeah, I'm keeping Dimitri away from that shit.
Yeah. They are so lucky that I played it wrong. If it had the chance to keep flying, they would have been fucked. But I wasn't expecting it to go down so quickly because I forgot about Magic Missile. Because Magic Missile's a bitch.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and he used it all the time, pretty much destroying the monsters I had for him. Anyway. Gods are basically made by the goddess. The goddess created the gods so that she didn't have to worry about it. And of the Bothurians, I believe they were going to do Greek-style gods. The Anunian folk are basically Normans, so they would have their Norman-styled gods. I can't remember who the Normans followed before, basic Christianity came over to that area. Who did the Normans follow before that?
Not actually sure.
I think that was probably just
But there
an
isn't
erased
an
thing.
advancement path for mortals to be gods or for new gods to originate.
There is actually one god over in the Norman in Anun area that actually had a man become a god. That is Ithidor, which is basically Darren's character's god, and his god is basically got only the followers of this village that Darren came from. No one knows who Ithidor is. Very interesting thing. But to become a god is very hard and difficult. It requires a lot of sacrifice, blah, 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 blah. It's not as easy as most things. Like, there's no god seed or anything like that. Most gods were made by the goddess and everything like that. And the goddess doesn't have a name. She's known as the goddess, and as the goddess by all gods as well. She is the mother by the gods and goddesses of the world. She is the mother, and she's called the great goddess of Lua. Lua is her name, actually. Yeah.
I totally have a book on a whole bunch of Hindu deities, which I guess I will read through and try to pick out some stuff. But I love doing. Have you ever played a game called Bastion?
Yeah.
I love the gods in that game where they always like represent two opposite elements.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can
Well,
fill a god, it's definitely going to be like that.
Well, I've given you the gods of Anun, haven't I? I think Flint has them.
Oh yeah, I passed them along to people. Or at least whatever I got, I passed along.
Yeah, the three gods of balance, light, and darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a representation of what the kind of things is, and that's how the gods of Anun look. Which I felt was actually a good thing to have, so that players can actually have a look at what a base for how I work my gods. I reckon for Caledonians, they'd have a Pathians tiled like Norse and such like that, so they'll be based off that type of thing. Yeah, you work it out. You have fun with that. Welcome to the world. Oh, you can also think about different places and names and everything like that if you feel like up for it as well. I'm happy to do that.
I might be.
Cool.
Currently on the docket is to finish my token, because that was just the first draft and I was gonna finish it, but then I ended up paying up my friends too late.
No worries. Well, it just played again, and I don't know why, and I'll catch you guys later.
Cool. Thanks a lot.
See ya.
So that's the game so far. Hope you guys can't wait to start. See you later. Talk to you later.
Next week.
Bye.
See you next week.
During the week. Bye.